In May, there were rumors about a rift between the interim government and the army, specifically General Waka, who we mentioned earlier. Not only has he called for elections to be held by December, that's what he originally wanted, but according to local media, he also opposes many of the initiatives proposed by your government, including the proposed new humanitarian corridor into Myanmar, reportedly saying only a political government elected by the people can make such decisions. Does he have a point that perhaps Bangladesh's citizens should choose their government first before the government makes big decisions?
I cannot answer for them what he had to say. There is no question of corridor. Nobody's talked about corridor. Where he picks it up from the air and talks about it. Election is not his concern. This is a concern of the government. So this is not the kind of...
But do you understand the argument that because you're the interim government, you should stick to kind of minimal, basic stuff and let the big decisions be decided by an elected government?
Nobody disputes that.
Okay.
All we said that these are the three things we are given to do.
Fair enough.
So we'll do that.
There are also questions about whether you were thinking of resigning this year. A lot of reporting around that with Nahid Islam, one of the key members of the student protest movement, telling BBC Bangla that you were considering stepping down. Were you?
I was a little upset because things are not happening the way it should have.
Okay.
So I was blaming everybody that, look, you brought me to get things done. And I cannot do that.
Yep.
And you're always finding ways to delay and so on. So what is the use for me to stay on? So let me resign and go. You decide how you. That was the situation.
What changed your mind? You're still here.
And everybody says, oh, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. Then the country will be in real big trouble again. So don't do that. So everybody come back and say, oh, we want to get things done. If it is delayed, we'll make sure it gets happened.
So you are the chief advisor of Bangladesh till February?
Until the new government comes in.
And then you're gone?
I'm gone.
Then you're back to retired life?
No, I'm not a retired person at all.
That's true. You're very active.
I'm the
back
one,
to non-political life. Let me rephrase it.
I'm the one promoting the idea. The word retirement itself should be retired.
Oh, really?
A human being never retires.
I want to retire.
No way, you can't.
You'll see. That's disappointing.
Absolutely.
All right, that's a discussion for another day. Back when you have your economist hat on,
right.
We'll talk about work-life balance and retirement. Many of the student leaders who led last year's protests, they made headlines in February when they launched a new political party called the National Citizens Party. The party is led by 27-year-old Nahid Islam, who not only helped lead last year's protests, but he previously served in your interim government after Hasina's ousting. What are your views on this new party so far? Could it change Bangladeshi politics forever?
If you don't mind, I shouldn't comment on that because that will be considered as I'm saying something in favor of or against a particular political party. So I'm a biased person.
Fair enough.
I shouldn't appear as a
The only party you're willing to comment on is the Awami League.
Yes, because it's they are not in the picture.
The critics say, though, that you've already kind of blessed this new party because he's your guy. He's associated with you.
This is their assumption because he was a cabinet minister advisor, so he's responsible. He was in the government, so I was very close, and he was one of the student leader who called me up to bring me in. So that way, that relationship remains. So people said somehow.
But you're not endorsing him.
I have not said anything about that. This is their party. They have to explain what they stand for. They explain their policies and programs for future.
You are an economist. You won a Nobel Prize for your work on microfinance. You're an economist who now gets to run a country. A lot of economists, they sit in the ivory towers and they dispense advice from afar. You're getting your hands dirty. What is your economic vision for Bangladesh? I know you're not going to be there beyond February in the next government, but what would you like to see? You've had a year in office. Bangladeshi economy, a lot of people are saying the growth is slowing down. It's not doing as well as it was under Hasina. What is your economic vision for Bangladesh?
I try to explain to people, I feel that Bangladesh is a very lucky country. It has a huge population. One of the largest population in the world, 8th largest population in the world. And bulk of this population are young people. Median age is 26 years. So half the population is of the age of 26 and less. How bubbling creativity inside of that. So I said that this is all creative people. These are different kind of generation than we had before. each generation came with their background and so on. This generation came with technology in their hand. They couldn't care less what others are doing because they are communicating with each other. They understand each other's language. They have another vision for their own. So it's a very lucky country. And see what they have already done. They rose against the government and government had to follow. And this is what they have done. They have no calculated things. They have no policies, no ideas how to run the country. But they said no to the government. And finally that government has to run away. Yeah. So this is the power. And they are very creative people, very young, creative people. So you give any task, they can solve that problem. This is number one. Number two, Bangladesh is a very lucky country because it has not only the landmass, it's also the access to the ocean, huge access. So we should not be thinking only about Bangladesh. We should be thinking about the region itself, with the Nepal, Bhutan, and the seven sisters of India. We belong to the same economic framework. So we should be supporting each other by opening their doors for the rest of the world through the ocean gateway we have. And there's also resource that we have the fisheries and so on coming up and access to all the marine transportations and everything else. So this is a very lucky country for that. And we can invite investments. You can produce things. It's a young... Today, you are taking Bangladeshi people to come to your country to work and produce things. Tomorrow, you come here. All the people are here. Why you have to go through all this process of bringing them there, create social issues and other things? Here, you choose your people. So you can relocate for the whole region and also for the whole world. This will be the hub for production.
Sheikh Hasina had a lot of problems, a lot of issues with her government. But a lot of foreign observers acknowledged that the economy was doing well on her watch, that there was growth, that there was poverty reduction. Would you acknowledge that from an independent point of view? Put aside what you think of her. No. The Bangladeshi economy was growing well in recent years.
All the information that you get under Hasina regime are fake.
Okay.
Cooked up.
So you don't believe the economy is improving on her watch?
Not I don't believe, you don't believe it too.
Okay.
Don't take it. Because she could create anything she wants. Nobody could contest. If they say we are...
So have you fixed all those cooked statistics?
We are trying. This is how we get to the hard reality of the situation.
The other thing, obviously, she was heavily criticized for was her crackdown on free press, protest, political movements. She was very brutal. People look, after a revolution, you know this, throughout history, one government is brought down, the post-revolution government comes in, and after a few years, people say, they're the same as the old government. Right. They're doing the same thing. Power's gone to their head. People have criticized you and your interim government for using the anti-terror law to crack down on the media, on journalists in Bangladesh, on free speech. What do you say to people who say that you're going down a dangerous road when it comes to free speech in Bangladesh?
First of all, I'd say, if you think that the next government gradually goes back to the same old situation, that's why I want to give the election. So stop them. So you can't deteriorate anymore.
But it's not just about elections. It's about using anti-terror laws and other authoritarian laws to repress people.
Whatever happens, that distinguishes that you are surrendering the power to the new government. So there's an end to it. If you know that there's an end to it, you'll not be doing all the things that you're doing. You do things because you want to continue. Yes. The more you want to continue, grab them. And all this information that I think Bangladesh is the most free in the press freedom, anything that you can have, because we want to have idealistic rules, procedures for press freedom.
Why not get rid of this anti-terror law that she abused, that now people are saying your government's using as well?
We have no anti-terror rule like the one that Hasina did. We do it as protecting the basic values of democracy and human rights and everything. So we are very good at that.
You don't think there needs to be more done to protect the free press in Bangladesh as you reform the country?
We are the freest press you can get. We are under attack every 124 hours a day.
Okay.
We don't have any media which is protecting us, not the media that we have funded or we have established to protect us.
Just returning to the economy before I forget, as a country that does a lot of export, garment industry, very crucial to your country. Here we are in the West, which relies a lot on Bangladeshi garments. Donald Trump's tariffs, how much do they worry you as an economist?
We are very happy the way it went, the negotiation, the tariff negotiation.
I think it's 20%?
20%, yes. So
still high.
it's not as high as we were worried about. So
India got much higher.
Much higher. So I was even saying that probably very soon Indian industries will come and set up their industries in Bangladesh because it's so much cheaper here to produce and send. So this becomes an attractive place for production.
How did you get 20%? What's your relationship like with Donald Trump?
Well, we made our case, what it is. We are very committed to make sure the trade gap goes down completely, so that Americans were very worried about the trade gap. So we want to fulfill that.
Just on foreign affairs before we wrap up. This summer, you announced that Bangladesh officially does not have the resources to continue supporting the 1.3 million Rohingya refugees who escaped the genocide in Myanmar. You have urged the international community to help Bangladesh look for a more long-term sustainable solution. What does that solution look like to you? I know you were here attending a conference at the UN as well in New York. What is the long-term solution for the Rohingya?
Go back to home.
Easier said than done.
No. In their words, let me repeat what Secretary General of the United Nations, he came to visit Rohingya camp during last Ramadan, and he fasted for the day, that's just like everybody in Bangladesh. He came to the camp, he took me with him, and nearly 50,000 Rohingya refugees were surrounding him in the hills and so on. And there, he promised that his goal will be to make sure that they can go back to their countries. And in my speech, I told them, this is a Ramadan, soon Eid will come, and this year you have to do the Eid here, but the next year when Eid comes, hopefully you'll be celebrating Eid at your home.
No, we all hope that. But practically, if Myanmar is not safe for them, if Burma is not safe for them...
It's important hope. Because nobody ever talked about going back.
I understand.
They always keep them, how to maintain.
No, I understand. We agree. They should be able to go back.
Absolutely.
But would you send them back if you still think, if you're being told that they're not safe there, that they will be killed?
No, we are not pushing them back.
Okay.
We said the political situation has to be created in such a way they are safe to go home and they live their life. They said, we are not beggars here to be dependent on other people. We are farmers, we have our animals, we have our land, we are professional people, we are doctors, we are engineers, we are teachers. We're all here. All we want to do, go home and do our thing. We don't want to be a burden on anybody.
Yeah.
So this is our...
But that requires the conditions to be there.
That's why we are holding the meeting here. We are holding the meeting there and negotiating with everybody that the police...
And directly with the Myanmar government?
Yes, we're in contact with Myanmar government too.
When I spoke to you 8 years ago, you were very critical of Aung San Suu Kyi, your fellow Nobel Peace Laureate who was in charge of Myanmar at the time. She no longer is. She wasn't very sympathetic
to the Rohingya.
Reason. Yeah. On the subject of Nobel Peace Prizes, Donald Trump spoke at the UN today. I'm not sure if you caught any of his speech, but once again, he talked about the Nobel Peace Prize. He's obsessed with it. He keeps pointing to all these wars he claims to have stopped. He said today, everybody thinks I should have a Nobel Peace Prize. You're a Nobel Peace Laureate. Do you think Donald Trump should have a Nobel Peace Prize?
Well, let this be subject of the Nobel Committee. Let them decide what they want.
Good answer, diplomatic answer. Although you probably could have got the tariffs down to 10% if you'd said yes. One last question, just on Gaza. Back in 2021, Hasina's government removed the line that was in Bangladeshi passports that said, this passport is valid for all countries of the world except Israel. That used to be in the Bangladeshi passport.
That's right.
Her government took it out. Earlier this year, your government put that line back in. What is the message you're trying to send with that? Are you trying to say to Israel, we don't want our people going to your country?
Hasina government, when they did it, entire Bangladesh was opposed to it. Nobody liked that. Nobody wants to have that kind of openness, that we have not recognized Israel and we don't want to bring them back again into our passport to visit. So first thing we did to restore that, because that's the will of the people.
As a Nobel Peace Laureate, what do you make of what is happening in Gaza right now?
Terrible. You don't have to be Nobel laureate to do that. As a human being,
it's a genocide?
You can say that, yeah.
And what do you think could be done to stop it?
Whole world should get together. I mean, it's such a terrible thing happening right in front of everybody's eyes. And we just keep quiet. And we see it on the screen every day, what is happening. How the children are dying and being bombed, and People are running around to find a small amount of food. Food is coming. You cannot get to the food. It's a shame for the whole world that such a thing we have to see and can't do anything about it.
It is indeed shameful. One last question to you, just to give you a chance to say it. Obviously, as I say, there have been some criticisms of things you've done. What do you believe is the single most important thing you have done over the past year? What achievement are you most proud of as Chief Advisor of Bangladesh?
I think the best thing that we could do, we have restored faith in our nationhood, that we are an independent country. We can decide our own. We are not being pushed around by anybody. And we have a long way to go and we can make it. We have the ability to do that. That confidence has come back. That self-respect has come back. And that sense of independence in the mind of people came back.
Do you think other countries can learn from what the students achieved in Bangladesh last year?
I think they should, because what Bangladesh has done is unique in the history. You have lots of other revolutions. This is nothing to do with those other revolutions. This is something happened autonomously. The young people got together. They didn't know where they're going. But each day, they inched into that. And finally say, that's enough. Only one condition. You leave. That's it. We have no other condition. That's it. You leave the country. You hand over the country. We don't want you anymore. Just one day. And that day she has to flee.
She did. She's in India, as we discussed. On that note, Muhammad Yunus, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.